Hey guys, Yessie here with Lost Cuban Kitchen. Today we're going to be doing a master stock. We're going to be using chicken. It's usually the one that I do. You can do beef, pork, lamb, veal, or veggie. Chicken's my most versatile one. We're going to be doing a brown stock, so that means we're going to be roasting some of the bones. I have a chicken carcass cut up from the rotisserie that I ate earlier. Well, I didn't. It was a family meal, but you know what I'm saying. We're gonna re-roast these bones. I'm gonna cut in these chicken legs, so we can really get some of the meat. If they weren't so frozen, I would take off the skin, but I decided to get them last second, and they're a little bit frozen right now. So, oh well. Everything's not going to be perfect whenever you make things, so why should it be for YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're going to see this one on? So, we got some old chicken thighs that I had. We're going to cut up all of our celery that I had. I wasn't going to use this celery for anything else. It was kind of down to the last little bits. Then our mushrooms. You could definitely spread this out over a couple trays. I'm not going to. It's just a little bit easier this way. I like to roast it, but I don't like to get too crazy. We do want to get most of these, the bones, I definitely want to get really browned. The onions, I'm just gonna have kind of just lay them in here. You can leave the skin or not. This skin on this one didn't look too great, so I don't really want to use the outer layers of them. We're going to take this out, because at the end of the day we're going to be doing this for, I normally let mine go for about 12 hours to just suck everything out of all the different things that I have in here. And then the garlic is just going to do the same thing. We're just going to cut it in half, throw it in there with whatever we have. This is looking pretty wimpy. We'll throw that away. Alright, let's wash our hands. Don't want to contaminate anything with salmonella. I have it at 500. We're going to drop it down to 425 now. And just let it brown up for a good 45 minutes or so. And this is going to be it. We're just going to be using cold water to fill this up. A lot of what this entire thing is going to be heat management. It's going to be labor of love is what it is. It's not a set it and forget it. You're gonna be skimming it, adding ice. But I mean, a master stock, you'll use it for different sauces. You'll use it for any sort of soup. You can use it for your rice, risottos, barley. You can cook your pasta in it. And if you do it at home, I mean, this is all scraps that I've been saving up for the past week. And you don't have to use this. You could use leeks. You could use like different kinds of lettuce if you'd like. Parsley. You're gonna add some bay leaf. Just use the different scraps that you have, put them into the pot, let it just go, and it should be a good thing that you have going later. So we're gonna let this go for the 45 minutes. When we come back, I'm gonna show you what it looks like, and then we'll put it all into the pot, and we'll just let it go from there. All right, so we are back in the kitchen. Look at how brown and crispy. I pulled off some of the skin on those chicken legs that we were doing. Added some chicken feet. What we're gonna want to do is scrape all this into. The reason why you're gonna want to use more things with bones than not is, and especially those chicken feet, is it's going to really help with the collagen, and the reason why you want to take out all of the what's it called, all the skin or any marrow bones, like anything with lots of sort of fat, is because you don't want it to you don't want your stock to just become a whole bunch of fat. You don't want to waste marrow bones either, because I mean, marrow's freaking delicious. It's just gonna be a wasted thing if you're doing beef marrow and inside of here. We're gonna bring this to a simmer, and then drop the heat. Just take off some of this goodness. Don't want to right here is the yeah. Try to take as much as you can. I'm going to let it back into the oven, kind of loosen up a little bit. Let's see where this is back. I like using cold water, and then bringing it up to the boil instead of having it at a boil. You're really going to want to control your stock if you want the best results. And the way to do that is with using ice and cold water. It really intensifies the flavor when you start putting the ice into it. It brings down the cooking. Oh, here they are. So I had these leftover chanterelles. I'm gonna add those and these oyster mushrooms. Gonna add those for some umami. We're not gonna you're not going to the using the mushrooms is going to really bring up the glutamate, the MSG sort of flavor, but there's so many complex other things going on in a typical French broth, master stock, that it's not going to be as intense as, let's say, in a pure dashi with it, which is just going to be basically MSG and bonito flakes because of the combo. But for my sort of cooking, this is what I'm going to use in all my sauces. See how it, and it doesn't matter as you can see the fat coming up. That can be cleaned up later, but you just don't want to start introducing a whole bunch of fat through all the skin and different marrow bones or high fatty cuts. So just keep it sort of basic with real flavorful and big bones when you're using beef or lamb, and just try to expose as much bone when you're using chicken. So I think we got one more thing of cold water. We should almost be to the top. Once we get to the top, we're gonna let it get to that sort of simmer, and then we can start skimming everything, because it's gonna start bubbling up some some sort of scum, and we don't want that. We want it to be a nice pure broth that we can start. We don't want it to boil and become real impure and cloudy. We want it to be either a nice clear broth, but that's if we were using uncooked or unroasted veggies and bones. But for this, we're going to be doing a brown stock, master stock, but we're still going to want it to be as clear as possible. So once it starts getting to where it needs to be, we will skim it. I'll show you a little bit of that, and then it's going to go into a little bit of repetition over hour by hour. That's why these sorts of things in restaurants are a lot different, because you have multiple crews of people just taking turns and looking at the stock, and the stock pot is probably about 16-20 quarts. This is only, I think, 8, so it's just a different vibe, and that's why you're always making stock. It's always on like the back burner at the restaurant. People are throwing things in, starting taking things out. It's just like a communal thing that everybody does, is keep an eye on the stock. So, all right, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Thank you. All right, and we are back. Let's kind of ladle these, see how kind of frothy it's starting to become. We don't want that in our we'll just use this. We want to get all these sort of bubbles out, because that, if it starts ever rolling into a boil, it will start making our broth quite, I wouldn't say unpleasant, but it's not where we want it to be. It's just how, and it's nice because this is where all the impurities lie and most of the fat, so we can just kind of start taking all that out. But yeah, we're gonna be skimming it. And after we skim it, I'm gonna let it keep doing its thing for probably like an hour or so. We're not trying to, you don't want to rush this. That's one of the big points I'm trying to get across is just take a little bit of time. And your patience will be rewarded. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so it's nice and therapeutic. It's like your own little Zen garden, or just trying to clean it up. Yeah, so, and it's better to do it right now is also, instead of later on in the process. Because if you're trying to skim things later on, your broth, your stock is going to be much more valuable, and it's going to be much more concentrated. Right now, it's only been but an hour or so, and we don't have like a deep golden broth that we've been laboring over for the past 8-12 hours. I mean, even if you do it on the low side, 4 or 6 hours, your stock is really gonna, at that point, once you take everything out, it's really going to go down by a lot when you start taking out bowlfuls of yeah, this is, and you can see when you're taking it out, all the fat, you can see it just glistening on the top. All right, so we got ourselves a nice little hot. All right, we are going to grab just a little bit, just to cool it down a little bit. There we go. It's not going to do much right now, but we'll be using about a tray at a time. Luckily, the fridge definitely produces a lot of ice for us. So, well, we'll let this go. I'm probably going to throw it on one of the back burners so it's not going so hot right now. I really don't want it to boil. I really don't want it to be a rolling boil. Especially once I go to sleep and I just let it be. I'm going to put the ice in there so that it has to go back down and go back up. All right. Well, it's going to be about another 45 minutes till we see each other, and it should be good time. I mean, it's just going to sit there. So, thanks, guys. All right, guys. We're back. We have our stock. We're just trying to get everything out of here. get it right into something for mom to make for the pups. Look at her. She looks so beautiful. So right now everything is going to be almost devoid of flavor, and we're just going to be taking out of our pot. Let's grab our little strainer. Alright, so we have almost everything done. Now we're just gonna reduce this by half, and then we're going to put this in our little quart containers. But other than that, we're gonna have our stock all ready. And we're back, and this, I mean, this is what we got left from the from our pot over there. We can cook these down and make them into flavor bombs. You can use them as stock as they are, or we could just freeze them as they are. Really just depends on what you're in the mood for doing. I'm just gonna put them in the fridge and then use them for stocks as I go along with the week, or some sauces. These are the best stocks you can make are from the house. So, all right, say hi, Ruby. Bye, Ruby. Thanks, guys. Subscribe.